स्वादयन्निह सर्वेषाम् त्रय्यन्तार्थम् सुदुर्ग्रहम् स्तोत्रयामास योगीन्द्रः तम् वन्दे यामुनाह्वयम् नमो नमो यामुनाय यामुनाय नमो नमः नमो नमो यामुनाय यामुनाय नमो नमः यत्पदाम्भोरुहध्यान विध्वस्ताशेषकल्मषः वस्तुतामुपयातोऽहम् यामुनेयम् नमामि तम् स्वधर्मज्ञानवैराग्य साध्यभक्त्येकगोचरः नारायणः परम् ब्रह्म गीताशास्त्रे समीरितः श्रीमान् वेङ्कटनाथार्यः कवितार्किककेसरी वेदान्ताचार्यवर्यो मे सन्निधत्ताम् सदा हृदि
verses, rather shlokas in the Gitartha Sangraha. Gitartha Sangraha has been authored by Sri Yamunacharya, otherwise called in Tamil Alavanda. He is the one of the three Purvacharyas of our Sri Vaishnava Sampradaya, and therefore, since our friend suggested this topic, we have started this. Almost, I think, a couple of months are gone. And every time he uploads it into YouTube, all the earlier discussions are available by YouTube. And we will also send you the link so that you can subscribe and listen to all. The more the important aspect of this is we have a lot of discussion. So we have questions and answers. Therefore, anybody can, any participant can interrupt at any time so that we can. What we call it is the essence of the Bhagavad Gita of the 18 chapters in 32 verses. Okay. So, Deha Swarupam Atmapti Hetuhu Atma Vishodhanam. I split into small words. Deha Swarupam Atma Apti Hetuhu Atma Vishodhanam. Bandha Hetuhu Vivekaha Cha Trayodasha Udiryate. So it will be Trayodashe Udiryate. So in the 13th chapter, Udiryate. Previously it was Uchyate, Uchyate, Uchyate. It is being said. But here it is again the same meaning. The synonym of Uchyate, Udiryate. It is said. So what is said according to the author of the Gitartha Sangraha? Deha Swarupam Atma Apti Hetuhu Atma Vishodhanam Nanda Hetuhu Vivekascha. There are 5 topics here in the 13th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. Now we are going into the 3rd section of the Bhagavad Gita, as the 18 chapters of the Bhagavad Gita have been divided by the scholars, the old acharyas, into 6 each of the 3. Now we are entering into the 3rd 6, 13 to 18. Now the translation will be read by our Malini Madam.
The essential nature of the body, the means for self-realization, examination of the nature of the self, the cause of bondage, and discriminatory knowledge relating to the self and the body are all expounded in the 13th chapter.
Well translated as Udiryate, expounded in the 13th chapter. Now, number one, Deha Swarupam, as it is said in English, essential nature of the body. The essential nature of the body is its perishability. Then the means for self-realization, Atma Apti Hetu. Hetu, the means, cause, reason. Atma, Atma is self. What happened? Are you hearing me?
Yes, Swami, we hear you.
Yeah. There's a problem in this. So, Atma is the soul. Here it is actually the individual soul. And of course, it is in combination with the Supreme Soul. So, Atma here, Jivatma plus Paramatma. So, Apti is reaching the Supreme Soul by the individual soul. So, it means self-realization. Then Atma Vishodhanam, examination of the nature of the self. You can also say research, analysis into the nature of the self. Then Bandha Hetuhu. Why are we called the bound souls? Bandha is bondage. The Hetu again cause, the cause of the bondage and discriminatory knowledge, Vivekahacha, relating to self and the body, are all expounded in the 13th chapter. So generally, the discussion is on the commentary given by Sri Vedanta Deshika in the with the title Sri Gitartha Sangraha Raksha. So we will be going through the Sanskrit commentary with the explanation given according to the Gitartha Sangraha of Sri Yamunacharya. Tatra Bhashyam. Tatra here, Bhashyam is Gita Bhashyam of Sri Ramanujacharya. Just for sake of Niranjan, I am just saying. And this Gita Bhashyam of Sri Ramanujacharya is a commentary on the Bhagavad Gita by the what we call Yatiraja Udayavar Embermanar, again called Sri Ramanujacharya, the rather the revolutionary who continued to establish Sri Vaishnava philosophy. So his commentary is taken as a base to explain the Gitartha Sangraha of Sri Yamunacharya. So Tatra means there. That means in this context. So again the Tavat must be there. So Tavat is there. Tavat means then. So Trayodashe in the 13th. Now as it is given in the Gitartha Sangraha. So Dehatmanoho Swarupam. So what will be the original nature or essential nature of the body and the soul? The frame, the physical frame and the soul, the individual soul. Deha is the physical structure. And then Atmanaha, the individual soul, namely we, human beings. Swarupam, the essential nature. Then Deha, Yathatmya, Shodhanam. We can say understanding of the true nature of the body. Deha, Yathatmi. Yathatmi is true nature. Shodhanam, you can say analysis, looking into how the body is. And then Deha Viyukta Atma Prapti Upayaha. Now, it is now very clear that so after the lifespan of the individual soul, in this world. So that will be bereft of this what we call gross body, sthula shariram, sthula deha. Sthula is gross, Gross. So then the individual soul is supposed to enter into a subtle body, sukshma shariraha, sukshma deha. Then when it is without the gross body, they have yukta. So when it is away from the gross body, then atma prapti upayaha. Here it is paramatma prapti upayaha. The supreme soul is to be reached. The supreme soul will be attained. Then upayaha, the means, the method, the strategy to reach that supreme soul. Then the third subject will be, fourth subject will be Vivikta Atma Swarupa Shodhanam. Now we will, what we call, dissect. We will dissect the discussion on the soul, the essential nature of the soul. So we will have a deep analysis of the soul, individual soul. Then Tathavidasya, in the same category, Atmanaha cha Achit Sambandha Hetu. So that is the fifth topic. So Atmanaha cha Achit Sambandha Hetu. The Atmanaha, the soul, individual soul, of the individual soul, Atmanaha, Achit Sambandha Hetu. What is the reason for its link, connection with the insentient matter, object, namely the Deha, the Sharira, the body, the physical frame. And lastly, there is a sixth topic, Tataha, then Viveka Anusandhana Prakaraha. Now, what is the discriminative power or discriminative thought that should be meditated upon, Anusandhanam, then Prakaraha, the method. The method of meditating upon the discrimination, meaning discrimination between the soul, individual soul and the body, the supreme soul and the individual soul, the supreme soul and the individual and the body. All three put together, we will have differences known. How to differentiate between or among the body, the individual soul and the supreme soul. Cha and Uchyate is being said. It's very easy to give an essence of the chapter, but there are a lot of verses to go through in the 13th chapter, and then we will be understanding what is there. But we are going through only a small summary, the quintessence of the Bhagavad Gita. In certain verses of the commentary, you have a lot of ideas of the Bhagavad Gita, what Lord Krishna said to Arjuna, and so on, so that it was rather deep analysis. Now, this is only a peripheral view of the 13th chapter. Any questions? Of course, without going deep into the content.
I have a doubt. It's Deha Atmano Swarupaha. The exact mean is Deha and Atma are two different aspects of a human body, right? So Deha Atmana Swarupa is Paramatma is a form of two different Paramatma and Jivatma. So Paramatma comes in contact with the Jivatma. So is it more or less the same as being discussed in Gita? Is it the same or different?
That's what we are now discussing. Number one, the one aspect is the temporary nature of the body. Now, how did you get this body? How were we born as a human being? And there are so many philosophies, so many theories on our birth. Initially, our birth is anadi, beginningless, and therefore we do not know when we started doing good deeds and bad deeds. And because of that, we get into a snap, net called Punya and Papa. Punya meaning merit of the good deeds, and Papa is the sin of the bad deeds. These both are what we call pratipandhakas, the obstacles to moksha. The moksha is again is defined as service to the Lord, kaikaryam to the Lord. And kaikaryam, even here, when you do service to the Lord here in this world, it gives you a lot of happiness, and it amounts to almost equal to bliss, which we get in the other world, namely Vaikuntha of the Lord Sriman Narayana. And therefore, this now the how did we get the body? Again, out of this punya and papa, out of this merit of the good deeds and out of the sin of the bad deeds. Rather, the birth as our birth as a human being has more merits of the good deeds than the sin of the bad deeds. And after being born as a human being, when we are spending our lifespan on the service of the Lord, then again our step, our action is in a progressive mood. Otherwise, if we are committing all sins, all mistakes here in the human life, again that is also an outcome of the sin that we committed in earlier births. We do not know how many births did we underwent, and then we also do not know what were we in the previous birth. And one thing is very certain, that both because of the blessings of the God, and both and also because of the good deeds that Lord made us to do. That's what we say in Satvika Tyaga. Satvika Tyaga is one of the important accessories of any religious function. Even even daily duties like taking bath and performing the anushthanam, the daily duties, puja, Tiruvaradhanam, and so on. In every action, we have what we call Satvika Tyaga. We always attribute our action to the Lord's control. He only makes us do everything. But while committing sins through bad deeds, he is not responsible. Lord Sriman Narayana is not responsible, because again in this 13th chapter we have what we call discrimination understood, that we as a human being, we recognize the good and the bad, and therefore we know we have to do good. We know we cannot do bad. And Swami Vedanta Deshika in his Nyasa Dashakam says, please make me do what is good, what is of my duty, and what is not my duty. Please do not make me do it. So akrityanam cha karanam, krityanam cha akaranam, krityanam varjanam cha me. So if at all I do what I am not supposed to do, and if at all I don't do what I am supposed to do, please excuse me. He says akrityanam cha karanam, krityanam varjanam cha me. Kshamasva, please excuse me. Deva, Akhilam, all that, please excuse me. And Pranatarthi Hara Prabho, he says as one of the verses from the Nyasa Dashakam, which is recited in every day, Tiruvaradhanam, generally, it is a mandatory. It is mandatory on us to recite the Nyasa Dashakam in Tiruvaradhanam. And now, as you said, the body and the soul. The soul is never perishable. This is what we call abhyaya, immutable, unchangeable. It is in the form of atom, in the atomic size, invisible. and it is always under the control of the Lord. There are 9 types of relationships between the individual soul and the supreme soul. We all discussed it earlier, and I can also give you a lot of information with the help of Keshavdas Swami to understand all this again and again. Then,
Okay.
yeah, so between the data and the body and the individual soul. Then again, the question is, I told you, our merits made us to be born here. And we also attribute it to our elders' blessings in our family. Therefore, we are born to certain parents, Mata and Pita. But whereas Mata and Pita are the God Himself. So He Himself is the father, He Himself is the mother. We have Sri Stuti saying that Mata Devi Tamasi Bhagavan Vasudeva Pita me Jatasoham Janani Viyoho Ekalaksham Dayayaha Datto Ishmat Parijanataya Deshikair Apyatastam Chimte Bhuya Priyamitikela Smera Vaktra Vivasi. It is the 23rd verse from the Sri Stuti of Sri Vedanta Deshika. So we understand that they are the universal parents, and we are now born to certain parents in this birth, and we had been born in some form or other to some, and so again now the next relationship, our relationship, namely as an individual soul. Again, Zoom meeting. The Supreme Soul is always available as Antaryami in the individual soul. He is called Angushta Matra Purusha. He is in the form of, in the size of the thumb, our hand, thumb of the hand. And then it is in our heart. He is always present in our heart. And Supreme Soul is always directing us, the individual soul. So that is a connection between the individual soul and the Supreme Soul. Therefore, we are discussing in the 13th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, and by the slokas, by the verses of the Lord, directly given to Lord King Arjuna. And we have been telling that we are all Arjunas, restless, confusion, confounded, and therefore all this. And then now the relationship I told you just now, 9 types of relationship. Generally, you can say he is the controller and we are the control. He is the master, we are the servant. He is the husband, we are the wives. And he is the Niyanta. We already said that. And so many. We will give you the list of 9 later, and then. So that is now we can ask question. Pardon. Of course, anyone.
So, Swami, can we maybe go over the 7 topics, because there were, I think, 7 topics. Do you need to look at let's look at the commentary again, and you can reiterate the 7 topics that are described.
Yeah.
So the first one was Dehatmanoho Swarupam. So the first, maybe I can say, and you can help me if I get it wrong. Dehatmanoho Swarupam means Dehatmanoho is dual, and so it means the Deha and the Atma, the body and the soul. So what is the true nature, the Swarupam of the body and the soul? That's the first topic. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Then Deha Yata.
No, before going to Deha Yatatma Shodhanam,
Okay.
of course, Deha is impermanent. Atma is permanent, Nityam.
Right.
The Jivatma is Nityaha, whereas Deha is Anityaha.
Hmm.
Deha is Achetanaha, insentient. Atma is Chetanaha. Atma Chetanaha meaning sentient, meaning it has a thinking capacity, whereas Deha, the body, is inert matter, material. And of course, we are going to see further also, but there will be always a connection with some body or other with the soul. Otherwise, the soul cannot, individual soul cannot remain alone as a single entity. And therefore, we will have to have a body, and the body either can be gross, which is now we are in, or subtle, which is invisible, or the visible body or the invisible body. The body will be always associated with the soul. The individual soul cannot remain. தமிழ்ல அது உயிர், ஜீவாத்மாங்கிறது உயிர். உயிர் வந்து உடல் இல்லாம இருக்க முடியாது. Now over to Gitartha.
Okay, so that was the first topic, Dehatmanoho Swarupam. And then Deha Yatatmya Shodhanam. The discrimination about the, I'm sorry, what is Shodhanam?
Analysis.
Okay, so analysis of something to do with the body.
The true nature of the body.
The true nature of the body. Okay. So first of all, understand the difference between the body and the soul. And then, what is the true nature of the body? So I guess that means that we should understand the body is made up of karmas, purva karmas. Is it? And that
Yeah.
and also an understanding of the body, how it works with different senses and all these sort of things.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's the second topic. And then Deha Viyukta. Viyukta meaning joining, Viyukta meaning separating, right?
Right.
Right. So Deha Viyukta talk is talking about after the separation of the soul from the body. So after death, right? The Atma Prapti, right? What the soul can attain. What the soul can attain after death. Upayaha. Upaya is the means by which the soul after death attains moksha. Is it?
Yeah.
Right. Okay, so that's that.
So of course, here Deha means gross body.
Right. But Deha also means the subtle body too, in the sense. I mean, in the 7th chapter, Krishna says, "Bhumir apol nalo vayu kam," but then he says, "Mano buddhir ahankar." So even the mano buddhir ahankar, which is the shukshma sharira, the subtle body, that also has to be given up before moksha. So here when it says Deha Vimukta, does it mean only after giving up the Stula Sarira, or does it mean giving up the Stula and the Shukshma Sarira? Both.
Only Stula Sarira.
Okay, so the topic discussed here, therefore, is only after death. What happens after death? After we leave, after the Shukshma, after the Atman and the Shukshma Sharira leave the Stula Sarira and go after that. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. And then, okay, so then we have Vivikta Atma. Whoops. Vivikta Atma. Swarupa Shodhanam. Okay, so that the analysis, Vivikta Atma means, sorry, what does Vivikta mean?
The difference between the individual and the Supreme Soul.
I see. So the difference between the two types of Atma, there's the Paramatma and there's the Jivatma. So the difference between those two. Okay. And then so now we have 1, 2, 3, 4.
Achit Sambandha.
Achit Sambandha Hetu. The cause of bondage. The cause of the Hetu is the cause. Sambandha is bondage. Right? And Achit. But Achit means matter. Matter being the cause of bondage. Matter is the cause of
Sambandha can only call link.
link. Okay. How the cause of the Atma, the cause of the Atma being linked with Achit, with matter. Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is Jivatma with this particular body.
So Tata Vidyas means the knowledge of the Atma, right? Being and how the cause of being linked to Achit, to matter. His cause of being linked to matter.
Now, why is there a link between the body and the soul, between this particular body and the soul?
Why is there a link between the particular body and particular soul? I see.
Yeah.
So how a particular soul attains a particular body. That's also that is the actual meaning. Okay, good.
The particular body means human being, animal, any type.
Right. Okay. So then we have another viveka, anusandana means viveka means discrimination. Anusandana means remembrance. Prakaras.
Again, upaya.
Prakaras also means upaya. So remembering. So
The differences.
Remember the differences between the different methods of the different methods, like that means Kama Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, and Prapati.
Yeah, Anusandhanam is, you can say, meditation on the Supreme Soul by the individual soul. Of course, it can include how to go about in practicing the disciplines of four, namely action, wisdom,
right,
devotion, and surrender.
Surrender. Okay. So how to remember and how to practice those things, how to meditate on those things. Okay. So that so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 6 different subject matters. Very nice. Okay. So
and
that's
Viveka.
Yeah.
The Viveka means the discrimination meaning. Not only we understand the difference between the individual soul and the Supreme Soul, but also it means self-realization. Because you understand yourself, namely the individual soul, you also understand the nature of the true nature of the essential nature of the Supreme Soul. Then that becomes Viveka. Viveka is exactly wisdom, you can say. Jnanam, as you said, Jnana Yoga. It is in the final stage, realization, self-realization. The first topic given in this 13th chapter is about our confusing the body and the soul as one. When, for example, when I say I am sitting in this chair or I am moving out, then naturally the individual soul along with the body moves out or sits in a particular place. But we have always a thinking that both are one and the same. Namely, the body is identified with the soul, but it is not to be identified with the soul. It is a separate entity, but it's a combination. It's a combination. We cannot avoid the combination, but at the same time, the soul is not body. And so, because soul is atomic in nature, of course, it can move anywhere, but because of this gross body attached to it, we understand we have a limited access. That's the meaning of Vivek. Of course, here I find we find that we have no concrete instances to elaborate on these 6 topics. but it's all, the 13th chapter gives you an introduction to Bhakti Yoga, and along with the 12th chapter. It has been even from the 9th chapter, the aspect of devotion has been introduced. The 12th chapter is halfway through, and 13th chapter will be completing the path of devotion, so that we can understand how we can be devoted to God. So when you understand all these 6 topics, then we have the next step, practicing the Bhakti Yoga in full measure. Maybe this is, though it has got 6 topics, and it's rather briefly summarized.
Yeah, there's more commentary. If you want to see more commentary, we can see more commentary.
Yeah.
Do you want to see more?
Yeah, we can. I think we have time to. 73, paragraph 73. Only thing is, we have to remind ourselves that there are so many differences between the individual soul and the Supreme Soul. Atra here, Deha Swarupam iti anena eva abhipretam Dehatmanoho Swarupam iti. So now it made even clearer here that though the first topic is supposed to be and the understanding of the essential nature of the individual soul and the body, here it is say Deha Swarupam. Only we are trying to understand what is the body. What is the body for? Why is the body here? Why? How did it come into existence? How was it created? Therefore, and so on. So Deha Swarupam, the essential nature of the body is the first topic. And we have what we call Brahmaha. We have the wrong understanding that Deha Atma. That's why it is Deha Atma. It is not Jivatma, it is Dehatma for us. The body combined with the soul. Therefore, it is Anena Eva, because of this, by this, Eva Abhipretam, it has been opined that Dehatmanoho Swarupam. Then again it says, Deha Yatatme Shodhanam Iticha Vimrutam. The analysis of the essential form of the body has been explained, Vivrutam. Now, before that, I would want to remind us the qualities of the Lord, which are different from the individual soul. Whatever we say with respect to the Supreme Soul will be absent in the individual soul. Number one, the capacity for creation. Sraštritvam we say in Sanskrit, the capacity for creation. Then Vibhutvam, the all-pervasiveness of the Supreme Soul. So no individual soul can be all-pervasive. Vishwam Vishnuhu, both words of the first starting of the Vishnu Sahasranamam. Vishwam Vishnuhu. These two are not for the individual soul. It cannot pervade the whole universe. And therefore, that is the first two differences. Number one, no creation is possible by the individual soul. And the second one is non-pervasiveness. Then we come to the extreme, what we call extraordinary qualities of the Lord. Number one, apagata papmatvam. No blemish, no fault, no mistake, no error attaches itself to the Lord. There is no sin attached to the Lord. Apahata papmatvam. If at all we think that some sin is attached to the Lord, that it is immediately destroyed. It is removed. So apahata, I'm just giving the only one extra interpretation which may not be acceptable to the Shastra. So I just want to say this because as soon as the sin wants to attach itself to the Lord, it is destroyed. So he is never touched by any fault. Kurayundramillai Govinda, he said. There is no blemish. There is no lacuna. No fault. So here the apahata papmatva. So that kind of quality is not in the individual soul. The individual soul is ever attached to sin. We say it is human to err. So we are likely to commit mistakes. And we will commit some bad deeds without our knowledge also. Unknowingly we do something bad. So these are all this kind of action is not with respect to the Supreme Court. This is what we call apahata papmatvam. Then the next one is ajaratvam. You can say. You can, of course, you can in any order you can say. The ajaratvam is he is not getting old. The Supreme Soul is not getting old. Though he is called the Purana Purusha. In Sanskrit we call him ancient primordial man being. And therefore, but still he is not old. Whereas we become old. By age, our limbs are dilapidated. They become weak as the age advances. All sense organs do not work properly. So these are all certain what we call deficiencies in the old age of the individual soul in the whole lifespan. And we get diseases also. So such kind of such is not the nature of the Supreme Soul. That is what we call ajaratvam. Then amalatvam, purity. Purity is the quality of the Lord, but we are impure in many ways, especially when we don't take bath every day. You know how we have a bad smell, stink. And therefore, in summer we have to take 2 times bath. Sannyasis will take 3 times bath. Generally, before Anushthanam, for every Anushthanam of the daily, what you call diurnal duties, we are supposed to take bath. We have to keep ourselves pure. So somebody was saying yesterday, please take bath and recite the stotras. Even reciting the stotras, the ordinary stotras, the praise of God, we have to take bath and do it. So it is what we call outward purity, the purity of the body, the purity of the physical frame. But again, what will be the purity of the individual soul? As now Geshoda Swami said, manas and buddhi. So if manas and buddhi are impure, then they will have ahankara and mamakara, the sense of egoism and the sense of possession. Mama, aham, mama, aham, I, the sense of I. Mama is mine, everything is mine. This is I. This is I who did it. So these two examples make our mind deluded or rather dirty. So there is no dirtiness with regard to, maybe my English is not good, with regard to the Supreme Soul. So amalatvam, ajaratvam, and we have ashokatvam or vishokatvam. He is not sad. He is not worried. But we have got a lot of worries. We have got some commitment, and therefore we are worried about them. We think that we have some commitment. So we are worried, we have a lot of worries. Chinta magnaha, we say. We are drowned in the sorrow or worries. We have apprehensions. We have fears. So here, Lord says, when you have devotion to the Lord, you will have no fear, nirbhayaha, and you will be nirbharaha also. You will be without the burden of sins. And our bag of merits also should be discarded off in order to get moksha. Therefore, that is also an obstacle. Even the merits are the obstacles. And therefore, that also becomes what we call reason for our sadness. Vishokatvam. Nityatvam, already we said that permanence. Permanence is there, ever permanent, ever present. And so I'm just giving only a few qualities so that we can have the differences understood between the individual soul and the supreme soul. Then Anandatvam. With regard to Anandatvam, we have same quality of bliss, as a released soul, Whereas when we are bound individual souls in this world, then we cannot have equal amount of bliss as the Supreme Soul enjoys. Therefore, Anandatvam. Anandatvam is the special quality of the Lord, whereas that makes us different from Him. And that is now again the quotation from the commentary starts with Amanitvam. Keshavdas Swami will also substantiate or add to, because he is always familiar with the concepts here.
So, Swami, do you want to see that verse in the Gita? You want to see 13:7?
You have to see the verse, because the next topic, the third one, will be Atma Apti Hetu. What will be the reason for reaching or the attainment of the Supreme Soul by the individual soul? 13th chapter, 7th shloka. Okay. So this is the starting point. Amanitvam, Adambhitvam, Ahimsa, Shantihi, Arjavam, Acharya Upasanam, Saucham, Thairyam, Atma Vinigraha. So these are the steps. Now we will be asking, when we understand, though we understand the differences between the individual soul and the Supreme Soul, though we have discrimination power to think of the essential nature of our soul and the essential nature of the Supreme Soul, with all the words read and advised and said, understood, and so on, how to go about this? What is the process, the hetu, the reason for prapti, for reaching Atma, the Supreme Soul? Atma prapti hetu. If it is Jivatma, it is Atmana prapti hetu. If it is Supreme Soul, it is Atmanaha prapti hetu. That's the difference between the Vigraha Vakya of the same word, the parsing of the same word. That is, of course, very obvious. So, Amanitvam. Amanitvam is Manaha means self-respect. Amanitvam is absence of self-respect, meaning humility, modesty, Vinayaha, Vinitatvam. You can say that. Then Adambitvam. Adambitvam, Dambha is pride. You can also say Garvaha. In Sanskrit, we have Garvaha. We are proud about it. We are proud about our own achievement. That is to be absent. Adambitvam, pridelessness. No haughty attitude. We should not be haughty. We do not claim that we have achieved something, done something, and so on. Then third one is ahimsa, non-violence. Yesterday we were discussing about non-violence. That is what we call sarva bhuta daya. It is also not only negative in the sense non-violence, but also positive. We should be helpful. We should take pity on others, especially animals. So here non-violence will be again positive with helping tendency, seeing eye to eye with the sufferings of others. Therefore, because they have the himsa meaning trouble, the physical trouble or the mental trouble, then we have to extend our helping hand to ahimsa. Then shanti, tolerance, excusing tendency. So that is shanti, or what you call patience. Tolerance is patience. Then arjavam is simplicity is given there. What you call austerity plus straightforwardness. That will be arjavam. Arjavam is straightforwardness, frankness, not only simplicity. Arjavam is again, I again remind ourselves that it is what we call straightforwardness. No cunningness, frankness. That is arjavam. It's called simplicity. You can say austerity also. Then the next one, acharya upasana. That is the most important in Sri Vaishnava Sampradaya. Whereas when one is a non-Vaishnava, following other faiths, they can always follow this the all other qualities. But Acharya Upasanam is very special to Sri Vaishnava Sampradaya. Approaching a preceptor, through whom we approach God. We are not supposed to straight away contact the Lord, Supreme Soul. We have to go through a preceptor. So it's given approaching a bona fide spiritual master. You have to find out a bona fide spiritual master. You have to choose among the preceptors who is the best. And then the definition of Acharya, I think, is twofold. We have a quotation from the Bhagavad Gita. Yadyad acharati shreshtaha tatta deve taro janaha sayat pramanam kurute lokas tadanu vartate. If you find a best person, shreshtaha, whatever he does, we must follow. Yadyad acharati shreshtaha. There the word acharati refers to an acharya shreshtaha, the best preceptor. Suppose we go to a preceptor with less quality, then again we have options to go higher, up to a better preceptor. And therefore, this is why we say we can choose the preceptor also. When we are able to choose the God, how to choose the God? To choose the protector is what we call one of the 5 limbs of the total surrender, namely Anga Prapati, called Sharanagati. Namely, the third step will be choosing a protector, choosing a guide. That is what we call Goptrutva Varanam in Sanskrit. Gopta is protector. So Goptrutva Varanam. So that is what we Acharya Upasana. Not only selecting an Acharya, but also approaching him deeply with to receive knowledge, to receive jnana, the spiritual knowledge, the Brahma jnana. That is more important. So the next quality. Now these are the one by one step. The first two, amanitvam and adambitvam, is shedding off some wrong attitude. First actually three. First even you can say three. The next one, the fourth one will be patience. Fifth one will be straightforwardness. And then this is the most important, acharya upasana. Then as soon as we approach the preceptor, then we must be pure in our activities. That is saucham. Saucham is cleanliness. I was saying about outward purity of the body. Now the purity of the inner soul, the mind and the intellect. We cannot make the intellect dirty. So saucham. Sthiryam. Then what we call steadiness, firmness. We will not swerve from the path of the preceptor. We will not swerve from the path of action, duty. Not swerve from the path of knowledge. And we will not swerve from the path of devotion. Therefore, we stick to the guns as we said earlier. Sthiryam. We stay in the same place, same position. Then Atma Vinigraha. Lastly, which is a little difficult, namely controlling the sense organs, including the 11th sense organ, the mind. So all the 5 motor sense organs and all the 5 wise sense organs, wisdom organs, totaling to 11 along with the mind. All the sense organs should be under our control. That is very long process, difficult, and all these all should be achieved at one stroke. So this will be the steps for what we call Atma Prapti Hetu. Atma Prapti Hetu. All these things will be causes for making us reach the Lord. So we have another quotation in the commentary.
Swami, before we go on to the next commentary thing, actually, this is the 7th verse of the 13th chapter, which gives some qualities. But verse 8, verse 9, verse 10, and verse 11 also give more qualities. Do you want to look at those also? All 4 of them come together, actually.
Maybe one of the verses.
Okay.
My relative Niranjan is generally on a night shift, and because July 4th is an Independence Day for US, he has some free time today.
So we went through this first verse here, 7, but there's also these other qualities
you
here.
can go to it. Indriyartheshu vairagyam anahankara evacha janma mrityu jara vyadhi dukkha doshanu darshanam. The second quarter of the verse, next verse, anahankara is exactly like amanitvam and adambitvam. The sense of egoism. That is what we call amanitvam, humility in the previous verse. Adambitvam is pridelessness. That also is one can join with the anahankara. So indriyartheshu vairagyam can equate with atma vinigraha. Atma vinigraha. The last expression in the previous verse corresponds to indriyartheshu vairagyam. Vairagyam, of course, it is misunderstood in Tamil as a steadfastness. No, not rather firmness, sthiryam, which we saw earlier. But vairagyam is neither hatred nor liking. You don't love anything, you don't hate anything. That is vairagyam. Where? In what case? In which case? Indriyartheshu. In the objects of sense organs, the meaning objects of pleasure of this world. Indriyartheshu.
We
So
say
Indriya is sense
we say
organ,
detachment.
Detachment. Okay. Being aloof. Then anahankaraha evacha. The three qualities are, two qualities. Number one, indriyateshu vairagyam. That will be, I think, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 10 will be vairagyam. 11 will be anahankara. Then 12 will be the last one. The whole second half of the verse, this verse. Janma, mrityu, jara, vyadhi, dukkha, dosha, anudarsana. So now you can easily understand each word. Janma, birth, mrityu, death, jara, old age, vyadhi, disease, ailment, dukkha, suffering, difficulty, dosha. These are all dosha. These are all defects. The very birth is a defect. If it is less than a human being, lesser than, what do you mean, lesser than a human being, janma. Then mrityu, again, it's what they call premature death. Jara, old age. Vyadhi, ailments, diseases. It can be also adi, B plus adi. Adi is mental disease. Then dukkha, all difficulties, suffering. Dosha anudarsana. What is the reason for all these defects? What are the minus points of these janma, mrityu, jara, vyadhi, dukkha? And therefore, we will have a anudarsana. We will make a follow-up and find out what is the reason for all this suffering, and then try to find a solution through karma, jnana, bhakti, and prapatti. That is evident. Therefore, we cannot find solution by ourselves, and therefore, then we have to approach a preceptor. When we approach a preceptor, he guides us. And I wanted to tell you the definition of a preceptor. Achinoti shastrarthan. Achinoti shastrarthan. The essence of the meanings of the sciences, spiritual sciences, starting from the scriptures, smritis, puranas, the lores, the itihasas, the epics, and all other, even literature, pieces of literature, kavyas. We have to, what we call, we collect, the preceptor collects, gathers the important meanings of these shastras, sciences. So, achinoti, that is in the first letter A, instead of for the word acharya. Achinoti shastrartha. Then the second duty of the preceptor will be achare sthapayitya. He will make the disciples get established in the good behavior. Achare. Good behavior in the sense religious rituals. Religious rituals with discipline. So achare sthapayati. He establishes us, puts us into the process. So achare sthapayati. Then swayameva acharat. So he is not only an advisor, but he is also sets himself as an example, a model, a role model. He himself is a, what we call a precept. He is advising by precept and practice of swayameva acharati. Saha acharya uchyate. Achinoti shastrartham achare sthapayityati. Swayam acharati saha acharya. So that is one type of definition for it. Therefore, we have to approach such an acharya, such a preceptor. And then
Where is that? That definition?
that is it's available in the Subhasitam. Otherwise, I can give you
Subhasitam.
Yeah, it is a general saying. I think it's not attached to any book, particular book.
Swami, can I say one thing?
Yeah.
I want to thank God for for me approaching the same Acharya you just told us, the description of the Acharya. Thank you so much.
We have, of course, we have we have to approach sometimes many acharyas. For example, first we have to restrict ourselves initially to our guru, our kula guru, our titular preceptor. What our elders followed in our family, in from different mutts. And if you are a Swaimacharya Purusha, then you have to take up the eldest of the family, who has got lot of achara, meaning the good behavior with good ritualistic knowledge and the performance of rituals also, especially fire rituals. It can be Nitya Agnihotri also. So that is also there. Then after that, when the preceptor is not available after some time, then we can approach for many other topics. Like, for example, I had 2 or 3 preceptors. Initially, when I learnt Sanskrit, we had school teacher, then university professor. There are 2 or 3 university professors, and then some guides from whom we get instruction. When we ask doubt, even asking doubts, and while somebody answers, he becomes a preceptor. Then I approached Poundarikapuram Andavan, what we call Paravakote Andavan, for Chillare Ragasyangar, minor secrets of the Vedanta Deshika. Then so that preceptor. Then I approached Professor Ananta Narasimhacharya, the principal of the engineering college, whom Keshav Swami is also quite familiar with. He is also Acharya team. Then in Sri Bhashyam, I approached him, and he also took me Vedanta Saram, Vedanta Deepam of Sri Ramanujacharya. I studied under Professor S.S. Raghavacharya for his Vedanta Sangraha of Vedanta Deshika from Mysore University from the Sanskrit department. We have got a lot of people. Why I say this is different preceptors teach us different aspects of the Shastras. Then we can have multiple preceptors also. Of course, no disrespect to any acharya, with no diminishing respect to any acharya. No comparison is also possible. He has taught me more and he has taught me less and so on. So there we can have acharya upasana. Then, of course, the Vairagyam, I think we have not gone through the second half of the 8th verse of the 13th chapter. Vairagyam, then Janma Mrityu, of course. Janma Mrityu, find out the reason for a lot of aberrations in our life, the difficulties in our life. Of course, there is no solution to Jara. We cannot be what we call Markandeya, always sweet 16. But whereas Lord Sriman Narayana is Nitya Yuva, ever young and fresh. So in order to, of course, avoid Vyadi, avoid this, rather prevention is better than cure. We always have different procedures, namely recitation of stotras, prayers, sincere prayers, before preventing us from getting diseases. Then in a rather serious, in a bedridden form. Therefore, then we have got so many rituals also, starting from the positive Ayush Homam, Ayushya Homam, not Ayush Homam, Ayushya Homam, not for increasing exactly the lifespan, but for the healthy life. Then we have so many other rituals. You can have even also Mrityunjaya Homam. We sometimes pray to Lord Shiva and then Mrityunjaya Homam. And we also say the mantras of the scriptures like Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam. This also we say because Lord Shiva, though a god of destruction, his Antaryami, as we believe in Vaishnava Sampradaya, is Sriman Narayana, and therefore such what we call such devatas, gods and goddesses, can be also prayed to. And that is, so that will be.
One more question.
Yeah.
When you have done Sharanagati, even if you don't have to official Sharanagati, but you already surrendered to God mentally, that is the ultimate. Why do we need these homams, these yogas, praying to this God? I mean, that is our philosophy. Once you're done, you totally surrender. That's it. Forget everything, and He will take care. I just don't know why do we need to do these homas and all that. That means there is some doubt in your mind that it's not complete, Sharanagati. So I just want to know why is all this always it bothers me and question. The question has been, I don't know. I feel that once you're done, you just done. That's it. Sharanagati.
No, a good question, but what I told you, I think in the last two sessions, when we do Sharanagati, when we make a total surrender, we want to adopt a process. When we want to adopt a process for Sharanagati, we don't just say, I have surrendered to God mentally and therefore I don't need to perform any action. Very normal action will be cooking, eating, sleeping, and so on.
I think one Vishnu Sahasranama will be the ultimate. Once we can concentrate on some genuine prayers, which I feel is very good, which gives me peace, and you're surrendered totally on Vishnu Sahasranama, why do we need anything else? That's my question. Or Nyasa Dashakam for that matter, and Bhagavad Dhyana Sopanam. When you're done those things sincerely, why do we need anything else?
Again, what we say is, while we perform these actions, though we plan and perform these actions, again, Satvika Tyaga is done there. So with a nonchalant attitude, that is what Ketudas Swami translated Vairagyam as detachment. We have to do this. Then why do we celebrate the 61st birthday, Festive Purti? And why do we want to celebrate the 100th birthday?
I think you shouldn't do it. I think you just go to temple, do namaskaram and thank God and come home. I don't think we need to do all that, I feel.
That is where we have a get together. We we offer peace to the friends and relatives. And the most, of course, the religious function is more important. For example, as you said, even the minimal one, Upanayanam, the sacred ceremony, is done with a pomp and with a glory, so that we forget the mantras to be recited by the boy who is initiated into the spiritual wisdom. Whereas we spend what we call it, get together with by spending a lot of money, even marriage. But then there will be no functions at all. The Margari month, the Danur Masam, is meant for no function except for the birthday. We have allotted we can allot all the 12 months for meditation, but to go against the current when it is cold season, we have to get up early, take bath in ordinary water, not hot water. Then do what we call Abhigamana Aradhana.
Yeah, all that shows love for God. All that shows that is doable. You must do it. That shows your love for God, your dedication for God. I can understand Dharmasam doing. Anyway, that's.
Can I say something here? This is Vijay here. Can I say something?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's my simple understanding that when you surrender completely, what comes out, you don't stop doing any actions, however, but what comes out is really a complete outpouring of devotion, a thanksgiving, a sense of gratitude. And mostly we misunderstand homas as something we want something in return for it. That's why you're doing it. However, what that actually is a sense of sacrifice. So you are essentially saying that as a sense of gratitude towards a deep surrender that I've already made, I am expressing something back in return. It's like a child's play, giving it back to the mother or the father in a sense of return as gratitude. Nothing more than that. It's not about wanting something else in return, is what my understanding is. And so every action that we do, if every action is just a simple form of surrender, how does it matter whether we are doing a homa or a yagya or even maybe going and helping some poor people on the way? Does it makes any sense, or this is my understanding?
That makes sense to me. Yes, yes.
Swamiji, I have one question. I just wanted to quickly check on the text, chapter 13. Quickly, so what I tried to understand myself. So to me, it looks like I didn't read it as Lord Krishna saying this is right and this is not right. Rather, it's not prescriptive, but what I get a sense is that he's saying, look, I'll explain to you the kshetra and the kshetragya. But he says right up to, I think it's maybe right from verse 5 onwards in this chapter up to maybe 12. He says all of this is the nature, and the one who understands this is the one who can get onto the path of becoming a kshetragya. That means you give up your ego, you give up your avarice, you give up your attachments, etc., etc. If you go along this path, you can get closer to becoming a kshetragya. Is that a right understanding, or the understanding that we should give up all of this and that's the only way to get there?
There is a statement in a book called Vishwakunatha Champu, composed by Venkatadhwari, a strict follower of Vedanta Deshika from the village called Arashani Pale near Kanchipuram. He has written beautiful works. His famous work is Lakshmi Sahasram, which brought him back the vision that he lost due to writing Vishwagunatha Champu. He quotes the position of astrologers. What is the necessity of an astrologer in a society? Now, what do we do is, in order to avoid our problems, we consult him, we take our horoscope, and we ask him in different ways, namely numerology, the palmistry, so many other. Though Jyotisham is the angam of the Veda, one of the 6 limbs of the scriptures, it is a perfect science. Because we, as human beings, we are not able to achieve 100% knowledge of the perfect science. We can, of course, we can say we are successful at 70% of knowledge. And when he predicts our future, good future, he always says good things about our future. When that is the rule. Therefore, he gives a prediction. We believe him, and he suggests some remedies for some problems of our life. When he suggests remedies for some problems of our life, then we follow. Then why do we follow? Then according to Shanta Madam, why should we go to an astrologer? Why should we consult him? Why should we? Because there are some problems. And if now there is one other observation, a person is suffering because of some disease, and then he says, of course, according to Shastra, he has a belief that if he suffers in this life as a human being, he won't have that suffering continued in the next life. If at all he has next birth. But of course, Sri Vaishnava Sampradaya says very surely that we don't have the next birth because Lord is so merciful. But again, so this man is suffering a lot, feels that he must suffer here as as he goes on suffering. He doesn't want to avoid that suffering. As Shanta Madam says, he doesn't want to find a solution to the suffering. He submits himself to the suffering and thinks that he will have no sins remnant in the future, in the next life. That's also one good thought. But at the same time, what you also said is correct. It is acceptable, very much acceptable. And he is. I think can you show me your video so that
Sure. Talking to me.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. So he is Vijay. He's a great expert in IT, and I would say he has been minting money.
No,
Uh,
absolutely not true.
At the same time, he has got a spiritual attitude, and he is very familiar with the Sanskrit language, and I have appreciated him many times as an youngster involved in spiritual thoughts. That is just a small introduction to Vijay, and he is related closely to my wife as her aunt's son, Attai Payyan.
Sorry, I did not want to take much time, but the question was, on whether the concept of kshetra and kshetragya, as explained in this chapter 13, is that the right way to think about it, or should we take it differently? Was my question.
So Mr. Vijay, what I heard you say was before you were saying you don't take it as prescriptive.
Right.
And I would say there are two ways to look at all these qualities and things that Krishna is explaining in the 13th chapter. You can look at it as prescriptive or descriptive.
Right.
So actually, for those who do property, for those who surrender to the Lord, there's nothing prescriptive. We don't have to do anything after that. Surrender, and then he becomes the upaya. He's the means. So he has to do everything. He has to save us. We don't have to do anything. We've surrendered. So for us, for the Prapana, when he reads the 13th chapter, all of these things are descriptive only. They're only descriptive of what will happen to us.
Correct.
But for a person who's performing a path of self-effort, like Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, and Bhakti Yoga, the 13th chapter contains prescriptive things. He should be doing things because he's taken to a path of self-effort, so he has to follow different prescriptions. So for that person, it's prescriptive, but for the Prapana, it's descriptive. That's all. That's what I would say anyway.
They're saying that it depends on the state of evolution of the person or the soul. That
Sure.
I agree with. It depends
Surely.
on where
Surely it depends upon the person. A person, just like I was explaining in another class that Maharishi Yogi, he translated the Gita and he stopped at the end of 6th chapter because it says yoginam api sarvesham madgatin, the greatest yogi, it talks about in the last chapter, in the last verse of 6th chapter. So when he's a yogi, when he sees greatest yogi, he says that's the end. He doesn't want to go further to Charamasloka or any of these other things. It's enough for him. So we all see the Shastras through the vision, our vision. The Shastra is the same, but our vision is different. So we associate the Shastra with our situation. We think we are Arjuna and this is our problem in our life, and how would we solve this problem? And then we take the Gita for us, and we make the Gita our own by doing that. So each and every individual is going to have a different understanding. By looking at the same Shastra, they're going to see it from a different angle. That's all.
Right. That's right. I agree with you.
To add to my idea in answering Shanta Madam will be, I was telling we consult astrologers. The astrologers suggest some remedies for the problem. The remedies are in the form of rituals. the rituals we believe are performed for the solution of the problem. And if there are no astrologers, if we don't consult anyone, if he doesn't suggest any spiritual activity, then the whole world will be bereft of any spiritual activity. And therefore, it is compulsory that we have to perform some action. Now, the second point, today we had a discussion on the Karma Kanda and the Jnana Kanda of these scriptures. We have what we call Samhita, Brahmanam, Aranyakam, and Upanishad. Then Upanishad is the Jnana Kanda, and the other three, Samhita, Brahmanam, and Aranyakam, are Karma Kanda. Now, a lot of sacrifices with different names are prescribed for certain aims. For example, Agnishtoma Yaga is for heaven, reaching heaven. Then Rajasoya Yaga is to establish the supremacy of a king. The Vishwajit Yaga is to rule the whole world. Then Kariri, the special, a small yaga, is to be performed for the sake of rains. You have to get rains. Very important, because the very disturbing problem in Srirangam is we have no water in the well to do what we call orthodox activity. The river now, the Kaveri river flows now because it has been let out from the dam. But now the problem is, I mean, the discussion was Ramanujacharya combined both Karma Kanda and Jnana Kanda, and he said both are necessary. We cannot just divorce ourselves from the Karma Kanda and say, no rituals. I am just surrendering to the Lord. That is the essence of today's discussion. So Upanishad gives you the wisdom, spiritual wisdom. When we get that knowledge, that is not enough. That's what we said already. When we do Karma Yoga, we have to apply Jnana Yoga in Karma Yoga. Why we are doing this duty, our own duty. Then how to acquire the spiritual wisdom through preceptors. And then finally, both will result in bhakti. And then with all these three yogas, then we have a total surrender. So total surrender suddenly crops up beyond all this or above these three yogas. We cannot say, I can give up all my duties, then I do Prapatti Yoga. No, it's not possible. So this karma yoga involves because ladies are not much involved in fire rituals. The wife has to be with the husband in initiating the fire ritual. Otherwise, the fire ritual is useless. The result is zero, and therefore she has to be with she is called Patni. And therefore, he has to be with we have a sutra, grammatical rule saying Patyuhu Yajna Yogi. It's called Patni. She's called Patni wife because she helps him to perform sacrifice. Sacrifice in the sense some fire ritual. And then the whole world will be without prayers. Because of course you said Vishnu Sahasranamam, Bhagavad Dhyana Sopanam, Jnasa Dashakam are there for us to recite. We are not able to recite all the 29 stotras of Sri Vedanta Deshika. That is also not possible. But we have recently, for information of Vijay, we have taken up a rare stuti of Vedanta Deshika, namely King Grigasius Stuti, which praises the Lord Vaidya Veera Raghava at Tiruvallur near Chennai. And therefore, we have. Then why do we introduce a new stuti? When we are not able to even do recite the old stutis which we are familiar with.
So I want to share a particular
Ah.
experience, but not once, but several times. So when I sometimes do these rituals, I take to it different attitudes I have noticed at different times. So sometimes the attitude is very sattvic. So I don't need anything in return. I'm just for the sheer joy of doing it, I'm doing. Sense of deep gratitude and as a deep sense of, thanking the God. Sometimes I go to the same ritual with a desire for some result, right, which is quite against the karma yoga concept, but it is a rajasic way of approaching the same homa or yagya or ritual, right? I'm sure that there are people, especially like you, who can maintain that attitude of sattvika tyaga at all times for all the rituals all the time, and that is a desirable state, I know, but I know that I am sometimes not able to take the highest attitude towards it, right? So now if I know that there are levels, and people are at, could be anywhere in whichever level, and it's all fine, but the desire is of course to being more sattvic in the tyaga that you do, but that is also desire, and that also needs to be at some point in time left. So is that the right process, or is it part of the process, is the question.
Yeah, this is the level, various levels with which we are looking at any ritual.
Correct. So Shanta madam is certainly at a stage where she is in absolute surrender, and she doesn't desire any result from any of the rituals or prayers that she's doing. I am possibly at a stage where I sometimes desire, sometimes don't desire, in the state of desire, half desire. People could be at different levels, and it's growing, it's evolving. We are improving every day.
No,
Swami,
actually, I have a certain thing. I think I could share a thing.
Yeah.
The thing is, I'm sorry. I think I
No,
blocked you, Mr.
just
Keshav.
show your video now.
Sure, definitely. The thing is, like, I take the both homas and the shastras in a two different perspective. Shastras are the things which we get knowledge to for our atma, that is for atma shuddhi, and the homas or related things gives us a deha shuddhi, because the fire is the most cleanliest thing of the five elements, which could clean everything. The shastras clean our heart. It gives ideas on how to approach God on those. But the homas gives us a present knowledge of how it goes, how our soul cleanses, how our body cleanses. All these things put together, we can reach either through homas or through shastras. I think both are different ways to reach the God, that is to the same destination.
Well said.
Yep. Correct.
There are a lot of ways to reach, and moreover, our religion, that is Hinduism, mainly focuses on not only through religious path, it also gives some things related to science. For example, during the Margari month, why does Pongal food necessarily need to be given to God? Because there is a science in it. I feel that during the Margari month, there is chillness all around us. We take bath in cold water, but our body needs heat, where ghee and pepper gives us heat, and rice also gives us heat. All these three things. Why pepper is given? Because like once we enter into the temple, we pray God. We do a lot of stotras, all those things. Our throat needs to be cleaned after reciting long time. So pepper helps us in those things. So all these are sciences related over there. Maybe I might be right, I might be wrong. Since I take everything along with science, everywhere where I go ahead with it.
What you said is the most scientific. Medically, you are right.
It's a very nice meditation on Pongal in Dhanurmasam. Yeah. So what I said before about prescriptive and descriptive, it doesn't mean that the prapana, the person who's surrendered, he gives up everything. When Krishna says sarvadhamam parityaja, he doesn't mean give up doing things, right? So you still do those things, but you do them with the detachment. So, I agree with you. But so Krishna says, yad karosi yad asnasi, yad jahosi dadasi yad, yad tapasyasi kaunteya, tat kurushva madarpanam. So you do everything for him. All your tapas, everything you do is being done for him. So, so we still do things, but the prapana also still does things. The person who's surrendered, he also still does things. He does all these things in the shastra, but he's not doing the things in the shastra to get the fruit, the palam of that activity. Whereas another person, he's taking it as a prescription for his sadhana in order to reach a certain level. He's saying, no, I have to become detached. I have to do yoga. I have to do jnana. I have to do bhakti, whatever I have to do. I have to do those things in order to increase my level. But the prapana doesn't, he leaves that up to God. And he says, I'll also do those things. And he'll take care.
That's right.
Vijayaraghunji, have a thing for you. Like, since you told like Raja thing and Satvikam way, I would say that once we do our karma, we automatically reach the jnana and we go to the bhakti. For example, sage Valmiki, he was, I would say, he was a hunter. So once he was a hunter, he doesn't know what bhakti is and what jnana is and what is it. So he was being given a knowledge about Lord Rama. But he says, I don't know how to spell Rama. And someone suggested him telling Mara Mara, so which became Rama. So once that he started doing this as a karma. So once that karma, he gave the knowledge of jnana, so who is Rama is. And he wrote Ramayana. So that way he expressed his bhakti.
Right.
So all this is a different way.
Yeah, rather I would say that Valmiki, as you said, he was a hunter. So he was interested in being able to kill things.
Yes.
So when Narada Rishi, when he came there, he said, okay, he didn't give him information about Rama at all.
Yeah, at all.
He said, I'm interested in killing, I'm a hunter. So, okay, then you chant Mara, because Mara means death. Then you'll be very good at, if you chant Mara, you'll be good at killing. But it was a trick. And after chanting Mara, 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 it became Rama.
So that's a jnana. So from,
but the jnana comes from inside, because God says that, Krishna says in Gita, from me comes knowledge, remembrance, and forgetfulness. The Paramatman is the one from which we get the realization. By doing the action, we'll get the realization from within. Yeah. So Krishna says, I'm the knowledge of the wise. I'm the intelligence in man. He says all these things in the Gita. So it's all the intelligence will come. Why one person is realizing something, another person is not realizing. Only the Paramatma is giving realization to one person and not to another. Because
these are just steps to reaching God.
Yeah, to reach.
Stepping stones, different routes.
Yeah. So to every man, the medicine is given at the most appropriate way, right? So to the Valmiki, being a man who was a hunter, at a very base level, at a very tamasic level of existence, the mantra was given more as a cleanser. So it first did a deha shuddhi, then it did a prana shuddhi, step by step. And I'm sure it's not perhaps binary that suddenly one day he got enlightened after saying Mara.
Obvious.
Over a process, he would have realized, oh, actually I'm saying Rama. Over a further process, he would have realized that Rama is actually more energy.
So he came to Jnana Yoga.
Yeah.
So he came to Jnana Yoga over there.
Exactly. So even like Adi Shankara, apparently the story of Adi Shankara is that, he approached through the Jnana Marga, right? So, and through Jnana Marga, eventually he reached a process of salvation, Atma Darshanam, Atma Jnanam. But later he realized that the same path is reached through Bhakti Yoga. So all of these yogas eventually ultimately join. And like Swami Vivekananda said that like the feathers of a bird and the tail. You need all the three yogas together. So the karma, jnana, and the bhakti yoga, all of them together balance, but eventually could also lead to the same goal. So it has, I'm quite positive that it is actually a step-by-step evolution like we go through.
Yeah, the goal is the same. Everybody agrees the goal is the same. The path is a little different. So somebody takes the Rajdhani and somebody takes a bullock cart to go to Delhi. So one person reaches first and fast, and another person takes many, many births and deaths. Well, as Swami said, Bahunam Jamanam Ante.
Correct. The only issue which I see, Swamiji, in the world is that conflict arises because someone who takes the Rajdhani tells the rest of the world that Rajdhani is the only way to go and there is no other way. So that's where
no doubt. The Rajdhani is not the only way. You look in the timetable, you can take the Janata Express also. But
Exactly.
it is not the only way. Everybody understands. So that's why Krishna says Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, and Property. That's why Krishna gives you a choice. So you can take the choice.
Yeah, even in gods, we have choices.
Yeah.
23 million gods. You can see Lord Narayana in Lord Shiva or Lord Ganesha, wherever. Like Devata Manusarupena, there is a thing. Even in the elders, you see God. So I think through that only the person gets knowledge.
I'm very happy that Niranjan has come out with a classic epic example of Valmiki. And just to have a share of information, Valmiki was born in a month to what you call the god of rain, Varuna. And then Varuna in turn was born in a pot. Normally then we say pot of water. So the water was born in a pot, just like Agastya, who was born in a pot. So Kumbha Sambhavam, he is Kumbha Sambhavam. Then therefore Valmiki, because he is offshoot of Varuna, he is called Prachetas, because Prachetas is the name of Varuna. Why again Prachetas of name of Varuna is a man of good mind, a god of good heart. So Prachetas, the best heart. So then he became the Valmiki. Now initially, of course, the Leela of Lord Narayana is, he was a robber. Then his sins were not shared by his family members. Therefore, he came to Narada and got the birth. Therefore, that was the base for
Okay. Didn't know that backstory. Interesting.
We will take up the next session, and we welcome the two young members, the youngest being Niranjan and the what you call the youthhood of Vijay.
Swami, I just want to say one thing. Mr. Niranjan gave us a good point about there being a choice of gods also. But you see, we say, Akashat patitat toyam yata gachati sagaram sarva deva namaskaraha Sri Keshavam pratigachati. That as water falls from the sky and ultimately goes to the one ocean, all the prayers that we offer to all the gods ultimately go to Sriman Narayana. Keshava pratigachati. And even Sripad Shankaracharya has said this. He says Narayana Parovyaktat. So even Sripad Shankaracharya in Gita, we're studying Gita. So you can have so many paths for so many gods and so many shastras, but even Shankaracharya, when he studies the Gita, he says Narayana Parovyaktat. Narayana is supreme. And Keshavam pratigachati. So yes, we can worship many gods. As Dr. Tirunarayan was saying, the Antaryamin of Shiva, Sriman Narayana. So, like that.
I would say not only gods, even animals and wherever. See, because even
like
Narayana says, "I'm Garuda."
I agree. I agree with you. I agree with you because Vishishta Dvaita means that the whole universe and the Chaitanas and Achaitanas are all the body of God. So everything is God in one sense.
Yes.
but not.
Even in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says that
Yes,
I am
yes.
in different forms.
Yes,
In Devas, I'm Indra. In Vasus, I'm such.
yes.
And
Sure.
even in the animals, I'm the lion.
Of mountains, I am the Himalayas. Himalayas
Yeah.
also can be worshipped.
Yes, of course.
So we should protect them from
That
the
doesn't mean
Chinese.
that, however, that doesn't mean that he is not existent in others. Like in the Purusha Suktam, it is said, Veda idametam Purusham Mahantam, Aditya Varan Tamasastu Pare, Sarvani Rupani Chita Dhiraha, Namani Krita Abhidanidase. So I have created all these names and forms and I reside equally in each one of them. So when Krishna says that I am among the mountains and the Himalayas, he also means that I am all the mountains as well.
Yeah.
Right. So but the one which is most prominent is the Himalayas, which is praiseworthy. That is why he's mentioned that separately. But otherwise, the eternal God is existent equally in every form and name.
Yeah, I just want to give you my yesterday's experience. My friend neighbor called me, let's we'll go to Sai Baba temple, Wango Mami. Oh my God, I didn't know what to say, whether to go or not to go. And then I went. We cannot disrespect any Perumal or any other God, especially. So I went there. It automatically it's coming to my mind. Sriman Narayana Charnam Sharnam Prapadya. That's all I was saying the whole time inside the temple. So I feel I agree with others that we have to go to. In case you cannot avoid it, you have to do it. But with Sriman Narayana in my mind always.
Every form is the same Narayana, right? So there is this conflict between Vaishnavites and Shaivites, but Vishnu Sahasranam itself says Sarvam Sharvam Shivam Idam. So there's the same Shiva is there. So even Vishnu Sahasranam says Shiva is everything. So where is the conflict? So Shiva is Vishnu and Vishnu is Shiva. So take it in the same form.
Yeah, even in rice, that is the mean is Arisi is mean Hari and Shiva. Both we consume it together. Rice has two parts. So if you break the rice, it's
I think
considered.
everything comes out of Sriman Narayana. That's all the ultimate. That's what I believe. That's been said. That's what it is. So I think everything comes out of Narayana. He's the highest, so it's okay.
And the path to him is through the Guru,
Yeah.
as per our tradition. So we accept that path.
Yeah, of course, we are little fanatic about reciting the Purusha Suktam. Sabrahma Sagarisya, and we don't say Sabrahma Sachivasya and then Stokara Sarabasara. We don't include Sagari.
That is the Narayana Shuktam, the Dravida part of the Narayana Shuktam. So we chant the Dravida part, and other people chant Andhra part. That's a different system.
We don't mean Shiva as Lord Shiva. He's called Mangalam. He's a Mangalam Bhagavan Harihi.
Yeah, in Mangalam Yatano Hari. Yes, in Vishnu Sahasranama, Shiva means, as you say, Mangalam.
Auspicious.
कवितार्किकसिंहाय कल्याणगुणशालिने श्रीमते वेङ्कटेशाय वेदान्तगुरवे नमः।